Let me now also show you an example of a dynamic allocation. So I already opened the cost allocations page. I will click on new to create a new one, and I will call this one sales, because this is an allocation I would like to use to allocate the sales expenses to a number of cost objects. So I will use level 2, so that first the more general allocations are posted before this one. I will not enter a cost type range, and the cost center that will allocate, like I just said, is the sales department. I will enter the credit to cost type, and I will use again the same cost type to post the debit amounts on. There we go. So this allocation again is an allocation to allocate sales expenses to a number of cost objects. So this means that we will allocate from a cost center to a number of cost objects, like for example, chairs. So in this case, I would like to use a dynamic allocation. So a dynamic allocation means that the allocation percentage is calculated on something dynamically. So what you can use is displayed in the base field. So you can have the system calculate the percentage dynamically based on GL entries, budget entries, and so on. So in this case, because we're talking about items, I will use the quantity of items sold. Then, of course, we need to enter a filter. Now, the filter is used by Business Central to identify what chairs are. You see, so that's of course very important, because the target cost object is chairs. We then also should include only chairs in this line. So there are different ways of doing so. You can enter a number filter. So if I click here on the assist edit, the system will show me the item list, and I can start selecting the items, the chair items. So I could, for example, select this one, I can select this one, and so on. And next I can click on OK. So and that's then the first way to identify chairs. The second way is by using a group filter, and in case of items, the group filter is the inventory posting group, because now you can see the inventory posting groups page. And you can also use the cost object filter. So if this cost object, or if the cost object dimension is assigned as a default dimension to items, you can also filter these items using the cost object filter. All right. So then a second line. So I will use the same cost type. And in this case, I will enter tables, because Kronos also has tables. And then, of course, the same thing. So in this case, I want Business Central to look also at the items sold quantity. And you can also filter tables if you want in the same way. So I can go to the item lists. All right, so once that everything is configured, so once that you defined your cost objects, your item filter or group filter, and so on, you can then run the function to calculate the percentage. So if you click on more options, actions, you can see that there is a function calculate allocation basis. So by running this function, Business Central will look at all these settings and calculate the allocation base, the allocation percentage. So in this case, this would be based on the items, the quantity of items sold using these item filters. Now, because I'm using very, very limited demo data where this is concerned, we will not get a very decent result. All right, we can see here that 381, 271 per line, and that the first line will get 58% and the second line will get 41. Now, very important before I forget to mention is the date filter code, because with the date filter code, we can also have the system only looked at a specific period, like week, last week, month, last month, and so on. So if I would select, for example, month, then by running or by calculating the allocation basis, you will of course see a different result this month compared to, for example, next month, because maybe next month we have sold more chairs, maybe less tables, or the other way around, which means that the allocation percentages will change. And this is also the reason that we call this dynamic allocations.